Megyn Kelly has some tough talk for Republicans after their brutal losses on Tuesday.
The Republican Party needs to get its shit together. ASAP. I'm really glad we spent the past couple of weeks, as Sean Davis of The Federalist put it, policing some young person's group chat, what a podcast host said, and what the head of a think tank over at Heritage had to say. I'm really glad that the Republicans devoted so much time to that. That was a great move. Terrific move. Way to stick together, to really shine a light on what matters. The Republicans like to lose. They enjoy losing. They enjoy when they are embattled and in a losing position and complaining. They love it. They do it really well. Less good at winning, especially when Donald Trump is not there to get them over the line. The Republican Party is not strong. Donald Trump is strong.
All right, so look, I think that Megyn Kelly has a point here, but also I think that there's some other stuff going on here, and I have to be very honest about this. Number one, I don't think that it's a bad thing for Republicans to actually stand up and say that it is wrong when people are racist, and it is wrong when they are anti-Semitic, and it is wrong when you have people that are in actual positions within the Republican Party. And yes, people that hold positions in young Republican clubs across the country definitely should be held accountable, right? But that being said, that was a very online conversation that really didn't exist outside of Twitter. And I think that a lot of people that are mainstream media personalities need to understand that there is an entire different world that has nothing to do with Twitter. She is right about the fact that Republicans run terrible candidates sometimes. Winsome Sears in Virginia was a terrible candidate. She was a Trump hater who was trying to, I guess, be a centrist and appeal to anybody. Like, I don't know what it was that she was doing, but the reality of the situation is that you can't be a Trump hater and build the Trump coalition. Like, these two things just do not work in tandem. So that is why she got shellacked. All right. So now the other thing that I want to say to what Megyn has to say here is that it is not a media and political commentator's job to get candidates across the finish line, right? That's the party's job. And I think that the party could do a much better job at, number one, picking better candidates who can actually appeal to the broader coalition that Trump brought together. And number two, picking candidates that are not afraid to be pro-Trump, that are not afraid to be pro-MAGA, however it is that you define that. And the reason that those losses were there on Tuesday, and the reason that I think that Republicans don't find themselves in the strongest position leading up into the midterms are for those very reasons. I don't think, with all due respect to Megyn Kelly and everybody else, I don't think that the losses on Tuesday had anything to do with podcaster drama and stuff on X. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with the fact that somebody like me will, yes, use their platform to say, hello, when you have people that are in positions of power within the Republican Party, and I have to say it again, if you are a member of a young Republican club, or if you are leading a young Republican club anywhere across the country, you're not some kid texting with your friends, all right? Because those men are like 35 years old. They're not kids. Like, they're not little boys, all right? But even outside of that, that is an online conversation. That's conversations that podcasters and political commentators can have. And I think that we should be free to have those conversations. But then again, that does not necessarily mean that was the reason that some of these candidates lost. So yes, Republicans have a really hard time picking compelling candidates that are not afraid to say that they stand up and stand behind Trump and are not afraid to embrace MAGA policies, because I truly believe that you can embrace Trump policies and embrace MAGA policies and still attract independents. So Megyn is right that there's a failure within the party to pick compelling candidates that can do that, honestly, because there's a lot of people running that are trying to distance themselves from Trump. I think it's a bad move. But what I will say is this: better candidates need to happen. More outreach and all of that stuff needs to happen. But also, at the end of the day, you can't police what podcasters are saying and what commentators are going to say, because I don't find myself in the business of policing what anybody has to say. I will tell you what I have to think, but what I have to think generally has nothing, very little to do with whatever another podcaster or commentator is saying.